Welcome back to health class. We're teaching health by all means and by any means necessary. I'm your virtual health specialist, Sherry Griffith. They call me the health teacher.
And I'm Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, former health professional, educator, now turned technology coordinator.
Well, we're here to help you be the best health teacher you can be. You said so many things that resonate with me. I was thinking about something I tell my students, which is if you have to sneak, if you have to creep, then you know that you're doing something that's probably not a healthy choice or something you might feel guilty about later. If you're experiencing any negative consequences or feelings from your actions, you know this is not a healthy choice. And I love the fact that these are tools that you could use for your whole entire life. So I'd like to ask you, in your opinion, why is it important to provide relevant learning experiences for students? And how can we provide relevant learning experiences for students?
We all want to think in terms of every subject every student takes in a given day in class, right, or in school. Um, all of those subjects always come back to relevant learning experiences, whether it be math, ELA, science, social studies. In health, we try to strive for the same goal, which is creating those relevant learning experiences that in turn you go out in public and become a citizen. Hopefully everybody becomes a model citizen. And you're taking all of those concepts that you learned in health class. And now we're going to go with application, right? So we have to apply everything that we learn. We can't just learn it in a textbook or in a project or whatnot. We have to go with application now. So when we put that application to life, it equals a great experience, right? So good quality of life. We always talk about all of the triangle, the sides of the health triangle, right? We talk about the social, the mental, the physical. All of this is relevant when it comes to learning experiences from health to application in real life. You really made me spark a memory that I had from one of my first actual assignments as a health educator. We did this project-based learning, and this project-based learning, students kind of taught students how to uh, take better control of their lives, and kind of take situations that are like high stress and kind of de-escalate the situation with positive thoughts, with relaxation, with meditation, anything that can kind of spark a positive physical response from a negative one, or even a negative social or emotional situation, trying to spark those physical situations where you become more calm and relaxed. And one of the first things we did was we did a cemetery study. Have you ever heard of a cemetery study?
No. Oh my gosh, tell me about it.
So in a cemetery study, you take a group of students and you take, of course, a group of teachers as chaperones. We never take any parents. We kind of just have students and teachers, and most are in the health profession or educators in some capacity or another, whether it be a teacher, paraprofessional, coach. And you take a field trip and you go to a cemetery and you kind of take some of your most emotional students who usually reply to things physically in a negative way, or emotionally or mentally in a negative way. So when you do the cemetery study, you have about 100 questions, and you go as a group, and you have about 3 or 4 in your group, and you go on a scavenger hunt. So out of these 100 questions, they're asking things about the graves. And if you think about cemeteries, they all have a lot of history, right?
Yeah.
And they go back, and it could be from the 1800s all the way up into, a few days. of people that are buried in the cemetery. So in this scavenger hunt, of course, it's predetermined all of the questions. So the students are going around and they're finding all of these questions, the answers to the questions. And of course, the first team that gets all of the answers completed wins. And there are right and wrong answers, of course, and they are checked. But by the end of the cemetery study, students come back to us in such a calm demeanor because we take away that external factor of class, of home life, of world news, politics. Like now we're in a pandemic, right? You take away all of those factors and you have students who try to work together for a common goal. And the fact that they're in a cemetery of a place, it's probably one of the most quiet places you can go, right? Outside of a library. I think a library is probably more noisy than a cemetery, right? So we're kind of sparking that relaxation, calmness in responding to these questions. And it's amazing how well the students do. And we do this at the beginning of the 9 weeks or the semester. And it's amazing how well they do behavior wise and even responding to events, whether it be traumatic events or whether it be stressful events. It's amazing how well they do. And we kept data on it, especially some of the students who are more challenged with behavior issues or anger issues. And just
Wow.
that part of that project based learning that we did just made me remember that, you know, we always talk about stress, you know, in health, stress, right? And we have to, as a person, come up with ways to deal with that stress because stress, we always say stress is never going to go away. If you're human, you're going to be faced with stress. It's how we deal with the stress that sets us apart, right? So just finding a way inside of you to come up with solutions to stressful situations can kind of somewhat make or break us. But those are the things we're trying to spark as health teachers. Just great experiences that can be relevant to you and applied to real life.
Thanks for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people?
Just thank you for being there. Thank you for listening today. And remember to continue to educate and to be that health teacher for yourself, your family, your friends, and for everyone around you. And we appreciate you.
Health classes for everybody. Thanks for joining us. Y'all remember out there, if you don't have your health, you don't have your life. Thank you.